What makes someone truly royal? Is it the crown they wear, the palace they live in, or the title before their name? Or is it something deeper, something that can't be inherited? Only earned through the purest expression of humanity. Today, we're exploring the life of a woman who redefined what it means to be a princess. A woman who took the gilded cage of royalty and transformed it into a platform for compassion. A woman who proved that true power lies not in distance, but in connection. This is the story of Diana, Princess of Wales, the people's princess. Diana Frances Spencer wasn't born expecting to become a princess. Growing up in Norfolk, England, she was a shy young woman who loved children, dancing, and dreamed of becoming a ballerina. She worked as a kindergarten teacher's assistant, living an ordinary life that would soon become anything but. When she married Prince Charles in 1981 at just 20 years old, the world watched. 750 million people tuned in to see the fairy tale wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral, the glass coach, the 25-foot train, the balcony kiss. It was the stuff of storybooks. But Diana would soon learn that fairy tales don't prepare you for reality. The British monarchy had operated on a simple principle for centuries: maintain distance, preserve mystique, keep emotions private. Diana didn't just break this mold, she shattered it with intention and grace. In 1987, at the height of the AIDS epidemic, when fear and stigma surrounded the disease, Diana did something revolutionary. She opened the UK's first AIDS ward at Middlesex Hospital. And without gloves, she shook hands with patients. It was a simple gesture, but its impact was seismic. In that moment, she challenged a global misconception. She showed the world that AIDS patients deserve dignity, not isolation, compassion, not fear. Think about that. She used her platform not to elevate herself, but to elevate others who had been pushed to the margins. That's not just kindness, that's courage. But Diana didn't stop there. She became known for her humanitarian work in ways that went far beyond ceremonial appearances. When she visited hospitals, she didn't just shake hands and leave. She sat on patients' beds. She held their hands. She remembered their names. When she visited homeless shelters, she didn't maintain royal protocol. She hugged people. She listened to their stories. She truly saw them as human beings worthy of respect and attention. In 1997, just months before her death, Diana walked through an active minefield in Angola to bring attention to the devastating impact of landmines. The images of her in protective gear, walking where one wrong step could be fatal, captured global attention. Her advocacy helped lead to the Ottawa Treaty, banning landmines in over 160 countries. She didn't just write checks or give speeches. She showed up. She put herself in uncomfortable, even dangerous situations to amplify the voices of those who couldn't be heard. But let's be honest about something important. Diana wasn't a saint. She was a human being who struggled deeply with her own demons. Her marriage deteriorated publicly. She battled bulimia and depression. She felt trapped, isolated, and misunderstood within the royal system. She made mistakes. She had complicated relationships. She was, in every sense, imperfect, and that's precisely what made her so powerful. Diana didn't pretend to have it all figured out. In a groundbreaking 1995 BBC interview, she spoke openly about her mental health struggles, her eating disorder, and her failing marriage. In a world where royals were expected to be stoic and unreachable, Diana chose vulnerability. She showed us that strength isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up and using your pain to connect with others who are hurting. What Diana understood, what made her so beloved, was that people don't need perfection. They need authenticity. They need to see themselves reflected in those they admire. When she visited sick children, she didn't just bring them gifts. She brought them genuine joy and attention. When she supported people with mental illness, she didn't just advocate from afar. She shared her own struggles, removing the shame that keeps so many silent. She transformed the monarchy's image not by following the rules, but by following her heart. She showed that royalty doesn't require distance, it requires humanity. Here's what Diana's life teaches us. You don't need a title, a platform, or perfect circumstances to make a difference. You need empathy, you need courage, you need the willingness to see beyond yourself. Diana had every excuse to stay comfortable. She could have enjoyed her privilege, maintained royal protocol, and lived a life of detached luxury instead. She chose to be present with those who are suffering. How many of us walk past opportunities to connect? How many times do we maintain our own comfortable distance because it's easier than engaging with someone's pain? Diana challenges us to ask, what if the greatest thing we could offer the world isn't our success, our wealth, or our achievements, but our genuine presence and compassion? On August 31st, 1997, the world lost Diana in a tragic car accident in Paris. She was just 36 years old. The outpouring of grief was unprecedented. Millions lined the streets of London for her funeral. The world mourned not just a princess, but a force of compassion. Her sons, William and Harry, have carried forward her legacy of humanitarian work, proving that her impact extends beyond her own lifetime. Diana, Princess of Wales, showed us that true nobility has nothing to do with bloodlines or titles. It's measured by how we treat the vulnerable, how we show up for others, and how we use whatever platform we have, big or small, to make the world a little more compassionate. She remains the people's princess not because of what she wore or who she married, but because of how she made people feel seen, valued, and loved. So here's my challenge to you. Be someone's light today. Show up with genuine compassion. Break down the walls that separate us from each other's humanity. Because at the end of the day, that's what Diana would have wanted, not monuments or tributes, but for each of us to be a little kinder, a little braver, and a lot more human. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of remarkable people who changed the world. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that one person really can make a difference. Thanks for watching, and remember, you don't need a crown to make a royal impact.